joke in the Star Trek franchise that food in space is pretty terrible, which is weird because you would think after mastering faster than the speed of light travel, we would at least have learned how to make a decent cup of coffee. There are a number of ways that Star Trek has envisioned food production in the future. One of the first can be seen in Star Trek the original series, where they have food synthesizers.
Your combination. Now, what would you like? Just call out your favorites.
Cherry vanilla, cherry vanilla, orange.
Food synthesizers can also be seen in a lot of the Star Trek series set in the early future, like Star Trek Discovery or Star Trek Enterprise. After that, replicators were used, and they could pretty much make anything as long as it wasn't too molecularly complexed by rearranging some atomic particles. Replicators and food synthesizers are supposed to supply crew with a complete source of nutrients and minerals, and we know from Next Generation that if you tried to ask a replicator to do otherwise, it's probably not going to work.
Real chocolate ice cream, real whipped cream.
This unit is programmed to provide sources of acceptable nutritional value. Your request does not fall within current guidelines.
I think replicators are perfectly capable of producing the food that the person wants, but they're programmed not to. It's possible that Starfleet is just stricter than we thought it would be, and rather than risk its crew make unhealthy food choices, it would rather ensure their health and well-being. The second reason is given in the Next Generation Technical Manual, written by Rick Sternbeck and Michael Okuda, producers on the show. They suggest that in all replication systems, including transporters, that there are single-bit errors in everything they produce. These errors aren't considered nutritionally significant, but it might be the reason the replicator food just doesn't taste quite right. To be honest, I don't think it's any of these reasons. I think the reason food doesn't taste good in space is because they're in space. In Star Trek Discovery, Michael Baum noted that the blueberries tasted different, and Saru suggested it might have had more to do with the fact that she was in prison than the actual food synthesizer. Crew members are so impressed when they find out the food hasn't come from a replicator, when they find out someone's actually prepared this food from real ingredients.
She thought real food was more nutritious.
She handled real meat. She touched it and cut it.
Everything from the sound we hear to the shape of the utensils affects how we think food tastes. But perhaps most important is the fact that the intentions of the person cooking the food also has an effect on the way we perceive taste. Knowing whether or not your food was prepared by a cold and impersonal machine or a kind and friendly person like Neelix.
Perhaps it's just the way the glow of the food heater lamps hit you, but you look wonderful.
Really affects whether you think your food tastes good or not. Please leave a comment and tell me what you think. Are the crew members just imagining the food tastes really bad? Or are replicators just producing terrible imitations of the real thing? If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more content. See you soon!